Going down. Ground floor.
It's a free country. Take your time. No problem. No problem. It's a free country. Take your time. Take your time.
Going up. Fourth floor.
Just sit down, relax, and let the magic happen.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn. So today let's talk a little bit about the Commonwealth Provisional Government, or the CPG. There are really only three sources of information about the CPG in Fallout 4. The first is from Nick Valentine.
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
The second piece of evidence we get is from Father himself upon first meeting him.
Oh, we've tried that. Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in bickering, infighting. It was a disaster. No. We look after our own now.
The third and final piece of information we get about the CPG comes from a holotape called Director's Recording number 52, which we find in the Institute.
Look, Director, I'm gonna make the same recommendation I did last time. We did everything we could. 4 years dedicated to preserving this Commonwealth Provisional Government. You've seen the same reports I have. It's falling apart and fast. We need a plan for what happens when that fall is complete. I know some of the other divisions have suggested we just cut off all contact, hide underground and pretend nobody's home. That would, in my opinion, be a mistake. We can't just give up on these people, and with the Android program, we don't have to. We'll soon have the capabilities to deploy androids to the surface in great enough numbers to maintain order. Just think about it, all right? Keep it in mind moving forward.
These three pieces of evidence appear to be contradictory, but a contradiction can only take place if all of the stated facts cannot be true at the same time. I argue that none of these facts are contradictory, that they can all be true at the exact same time, and that by better understanding each piece of evidence, we can deduce what really happened to the Commonwealth Provisional Government. In this holotape, the man speaking says that he thinks the best way to not give up on the people of the Commonwealth is to deploy androids to the surface in great enough numbers to maintain order. That is terrifying, because who decides what is orderly and what is not? Father says that it ended in bickering and infighting. This was a disaster. Bickering and infighting is just part of human politics. The only human governments that are quote-unquote free of bickering and infighting are governments run by dictators. You can let him know that his institute has done some very horrible things, and he responds like a child.
Yes, well, the world is not what it used to be.
In this exchange, Father admits that the Institute has done atrocities, but he moralizes it by saying that atrocities are acceptable in this post-apocalyptic world because morality doesn't exist here. By employing this weakest of arguments, Father is clearly throwing his hat into the ring with raiders. He excuses the atrocities that his institute does simply by saying that everyone else does it, by trying to argue that there is no morality. And yet hypocritically, he criticizes the Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel.
What about the people you've aided in order to get here? What atrocities have they committed? The Brotherhood of Steel. They believe they're the only ones fit to control technology and destroy anyone who opposes them. And you would side with them. This railroad. Willing to sacrifice humans for the sake of synths. Think about that for a moment. Would you kill your fellow man to save a Nuka cola machine? They have completely disconnected from reality. None have any true claim to nobility in this world. Those days are gone. But we are not the monsters we have been cast as.
If there is no morality, how can he criticize the goals and methods of the Brotherhood? If there is no morality, how can he be upset with the Railroad for stealing the Institute's property? You see how this is just a big circle of faulty reasoning? Getting back to the evidence, we have one charge here to prove or disprove, and that is the charge from Nick Valentine that an Institute assassin killed all of the representatives who showed up to the CPG. So what's more likely? The Institute sends a representative to the meeting of the CPG. The CPG argues and breaks out in a gunfight while the synth representative just stands there and watches them kill each other. Or could the Institute have finally been fed up with the CPG? The Institute could have gotten tired that it didn't get its way, that the Commonwealth didn't see things the way that the Institute saw things. And in order to properly deal with the situation, they decided to simply end them all.
By order of the Institute, you...
By order of the Institute, you must be destroyed. Sensor critically damaged. Upper limb actuator